Wow, this episode was definitely all over the place. We had four perspectives, literally four perspectives, I believe, and each one showed a different viewpoint on situations and on how everyone else lives their lives. It's amazing. You go through your daily life. Just doing you. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. And then some people don't even take the time to wonder, how is everyone else is doing? You know, People can say they're doing fine, but at the end of the day, each person has their own experience and how they would react to something. In only each situation someone can handle. So you can't always know what someone else is feeling or what they're going through. For instance, the the it really shine a light once again more on the carnivores and the herbivores and how each one has their own drawbacks, pros and cons. You know, for instance, we had a side story. I actually enjoy the side stories in Beastars because it shines more light on how everyone else is dealing with a situation that's going on in the world. For instance, the Sheila the leopard and Peach the sheep. In the beginning, you see she wanted to take a photo with the carnivore friends, but it seems like they didn't want to take one with her. So that's how she saw it. So she was frustrated about it, talking to Juno and saying how um, herbivores have a defense mechanism where they're more self-conscious what other herbivores think of them, because most herbivores are in packs. They're together with someone to protect themselves because they're not as strong. Most of them aren't as strong as carnivores, so they do that. So they don't want to do anything to astray from the pack. You see. And of course, I also found out another thing with the carnivores, but we won't get into that just yet. So the thing with Sheila is then they try to take a picture. They did, but it felt, you know, it felt fake. Until she decided to take a step forward and ask Peach to go out shopping. To go out shopping, and you can see some of Peach's perspective, where she's like, "Wow, she's really trying to help me out find these clothes. She's a really nice and very popular person, even among her fellow carnivores." So we're seeing both their thoughts being played out, and seeing how, yeah, they all have their own interests. They all have their self consciousness and how they view each other. But at the end of the day, they gotta break through all of that just to become friends. And finally, at the end of the story, they finally take an actual decent photo where it looks like they're actually friends. Not just taking a photo for sake of taking a photo, but one because they want to share a memory of the day they hung out with each other. And I like that, beginning of not being in a photo, of taking one, but it's not genuine, then finally taking one where it feels like, you finally reached that step of friendship. So I enjoyed that little part. It was a little grow that was happening in that story. Then we go to right in the middle of Legoshi stalking a hyena who is addicted so badly that he's biting the bones and is ready to kill anyone, even another carnivore. Now, Legoshi training this time was to show that he needed to use something else besides his mouth. Since most carnivores are strong with their mouths, their jaws, turns out that herbivores use their limbs. They can have very strong limbs. And because they put all their emotion in their limbs, if they're scared, they're angry, or mad, or whatever, they use that to whether run away or to fight in order to survive. So as Legoshi is fighting off the hyena, he realizes that his arms and legs have gotten strong. So he might as well use them. And with just one slam, he was able to actually take down the hyena. So he may have lost his jaws, but in the day, he got his emotional limbs. He'll use that from now on in order to fight against and to protect herbivores or even carnivores, because it seems like the carnivores who go crazy will attack anyone. Now we go off of a thing of Juno and Haru, showing how could be a candidate for the next Beastar later on down the road, and everyone seems to enjoy her. Carnivores, Everyone loved her. They want her to be a lead role, which is usually to a male, to show that the drama club is serious about not closing down. They are the beacon of harmony between the two species, and they don't want to let that go. And everything seems to be chill. She can get along anywhere except for one. When I mean one hoverboard, and that is Haru. You haven't realized we haven't seen Haru much at all in the season. I guess it's not really aimed at her anymore. Because everyone is off doing their own thing. Everyone seems to be separated right now, doing their own thing. That was she's training to protect carnivores. Lewis is pretty much, he's a mafia boss. And then, of course, Haru, she's doing her daily life. She's the only one who actually was able to keep her normal life and stay that way, Nothing really changed for her. So, Juno, we found out with Juno is that carnivores can't really say no when someone's asking them for help. Well, I can see that when it comes to dogs and stuff, canines, they always seem to want to help out humans and stuff. I see that. And even other creatures. But I'm not sure about cats and tigers and stuff. I don't know. Maybe they have to be trained in order to do that. Who knows? However, you can see how Haru just gets under Juno's skin so easily. And it's just like, wow, girl, welcome to your composure. But we all have someone who gets under our skin, despite how calm and collected we pretend to think we are. And finally, we also have Lewis's side story. They're at some place where they're watching something going down, where they're taking a part of I think an alligator or crocodile, and this dude in a wheelchair, like, he wants to make love to his wife one more time, and then so they take off his privates, and of course Ibaki tries to block the viewpoint, but Lewis was like, nah, I've seen worse, so he feel like he's gonna want going through everything, but Ibaki showed him, no, we're not so different actually. Yeah, we're two different kind of species, but hey, doesn't mean we can't go through the same thing. So yes, in the majority of the world, herbivores and carnivores don't go through the same thing, but every now and then there's some that do, meaning we're not so different. Yes, we're different, but at the same time, we can be the same. So it seems like in each little chapter that happened in this episode, we all had a different perspective on the lives, once again, in this world that we all live in. So the way I got it from this is everyone has their crap they got to deal with. It really is what I see it as, everyone has their own struggles, their own trials that they have to pass in order to find some sort of coexistence and stop always trying to resist. I'm not saying to get along, harmony, kumbaya, shake hands, but to put up with the other one, just to put up with them. Because you're going to have to, because at the end of the day, you live in this world just as them. And if you don't want to kill them, find a way to coexist with them. Because that's all you got. So, that's just my perspective on this episode. Very good, not exciting, not as really plot moving, but more world building more than anything else I got from this. I enjoyed it nonetheless. So anyways, that's what I got for this vid. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, hit that bell icon. This has been the Madcrown on Anime. Signing out.